Claymore is one of the most niche weapons in the game, but is it still worth getting? Or is it still worth getting the Midas sword? Or just not getting in general? Well, we're going to find that out today. Because there's always a question. Is this weapon good? Or is it still garbage? Or is it even useful? Well, I will answer that question right now. So, what are the stats of the Claymore? Well, the stats of the Claymore, if we go over here, is 500 damage, 100 strength, and 30 crit damage. The other rivals, which would be a giant sword, with a lower requirement, it would be, well, 500 damage. And that's literally it. So, their Claymore, and this also has a Master 7 requirement versus a Floor 7 requirement right here. So, you get an extra 100 strength and 30 crit damage. And, Midas Sword is, well, has a lot lower requirement, but it's way more expensive. So, if we go ahead, look at, let me see if I can find, Fragged Midas. Okay, I can't find Fragged Midas. Where is... Man, it's gonna be annoying. What is it, 300? 300, so... Man, I can't find the actual stats of a Midas sword. Oh, wait, no. It's 100. There we go. Wait, no. It's not a fragged version. Jeez. Okay. Highest one alright, so this one has 550 base damage, and my maxed out Claymore has 580 damage. So, why? Okay. Any sort. Yeah, tweak sort. There we go. I don't care. Alright, so this is, well, why would you put a defense on this? That makes no sense. Anyways, so this one has 554 base damage, 349 strength, 100 crit damage, and 10 ability damage. Although ability damage does not matter that much. And this has just a lot better stats in general. Cause, right? Yeah. Yes. I was like, why does it have a lot? Why is the stats not the greatest? Like, well, right now I'm not using a pet. If you see right here, no pet. As you see, no pet. Usually I would use a pet, but right now I want to test without Chimera, so it's a lot easier going off the most expensive and just looking at it. And this one, honestly, the stats are a lot better on a Claymore than a Midas, because I mean the base damage is higher, the crit damage is higher. This has like T7. Yeah, this has all the T7s. Although it has Smite, although you're supposed to put Sharp on it, but not okay, whatever. So yeah. So right now, a Claymore is just better in general. Just has way better stats. Alright, so now what about with a Remedy's G-Drive? Well, with the stats, if it updated already. Now, if we look at the Midas, okay, there is no Chimera 5s. Okay, well I cannot. Okay, well I can't show you. Alright, there we go. This has an 100 extra strength. But, like, I can't really test that well because there is, well, it doesn't help that there's not a Hypermax with Chimera 5, and it just makes everything way much more difficult. But, alright. But anyways, all you need to know is that the Midas sword has a lot much more strength than a Claymore, and a Claymore throws a little bit more damage than that. So, okay, but what is the difference? Well, the difference is, well, it's E drag versus G drag on dragons. Well, I mean, Claymore's just better because the combat slides. Crit damage is a bit more important nowadays. So that way it gives a shot. But anyways, why is it that good of a weapon? Because, well, it is Claymore is, well, the best weapon against the dragons. And it's like, why would it be better if it's not like, for example, Claymore against withers or regular mobs or any of the other stuff like normal mobs? Well, usually you shouldn't have an issue with the normal mobs because when you're already like 1 to 2 tapping, a little extra damage is not going to matter that much when you're 1 to 2 tapping, except for, well, maybe spirit bears, but I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to 1 tap as mage anyways. But anyways, the reason why it is better is because the base price of a Claymore and Hype is a lot cheap. Claymore and between Midas sword is a lot cheaper than just getting, well, a Claymore versus and besides it's 150 mil right now because it's paw. You should pick one up. But anyways, if we can find where. So the cheapest lowest spin is 320 mil. It's like you may be asking, okay, 320 mil, not that bad. It's only like 100 mil extra. Till you realize that you still need to frag the Claymore. And these frags are how much? Let's see. It is. That's wrong. There we go. And it is 1, 2, 3. That's it. It is around an extra 100 mil ish. It's like, hold on, wait, Midas. What is it called? Hold on. It is golden fragments. That's what we were looking for. Gold fragments. And we need, for example, we would need 10 of these. And that would be 110 mil. That's just for, actually no, that's the wrong one. Minus, I need 8 of these, not 10. I'm stupid. Yeah, this is 88 mil, so it's like an extra 90 mil on top of the 300. So it's an extra 200 mil for base price. Just for slightly better, and it's not even better for M7 because, well, of the Ender Dragon, because you use this instead of, well, the other mobs. Because, well, E-Drag is, well, better. Anyways. Whoops. Midas sword. Lowest price. No, highest. I want to go by highest. There we go. So, all in all, Midas sword is very not worth the money spent on it. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you'd be better off, because this is probably like the lowest spin. This is only 75 mil paid. Yeah, this is only worth 253 and it's for 384. All in all, it's not that great of a weapon. And it's really hard to find a decently priced Midas sword. I mean, this is only 110 mil and 400 mil. And like, all these are really overpriced. You're better off crafting. I would say if you got lucky, I would recommend getting a 250 mil, and then also cost you another 88 mil, which is basically around 300 mil to almost 400 mil, if not even more, because people will be bidding as well. I mean, usually I haven't seen a lot of people bid in the dark auction of recent, but I think it's been pretty good with people not overbidding on Midas swords because there's just a lot of Midas. Because not a lot of people use Midas sword. It's really expensive. You think it'd be a ton of people in there, but there really isn't. Because, well, it's just not worth it. Because, I mean, you're not going to use it for, like, the very end. And you want to max out a sword you're always going to use. And that sword needs to be able to do the most damage or be able to be used in, like, the very end game. And currently, the Midas sword is not being used in the current end game, which makes it a huge problem for itself, but it is one of the best one-hit weapons. But right now, it is only good for if you're not playing Master 7, and it's just not worth it in general. I mean, yeah, you could use it as like a budget mage setup up until M7, and then just sell it for Claymore, because there is a lot way more Claymores, and you can probably find a better Hypermex Claymore for a lot cheaper than you would for, well, a Midas sword. Because it's really hard to find a decent Midas sword. I mean, look, take for example, this is worth 4.5 bill, and it's going for 500. It's worth 4.5 bill, and it's only 4 bill. I mean, yeah, it's a lot much more worth just buying a hypermaxed Claymore nowadays instead of just a hypermaxed Midas sword, because there's a lot more Claymores, because people are like, oh my goodness, Midas sword is better, but it's worth a lot. I mean, this is worth what, 3.5 bill? And I mean, you can, if you look around the 3.5 bill range, you can usually pick up a decent one for around that much. I mean, this one's over. And besides, if you have Sky Handy, it'll tell you the price on the left, which helps so much. Make sure you just have the proper enchants and everything. That also helps. But yeah, usually it's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot cheaper to buy a maxed out Claymore than it is for Midas, because there are just way more Claymores out there already. And people already panic sold their Claymores and realizing, oh my goodness, Midas Sword's better. And all in all, Claymore is already better. I'm going to be talking about Giant Sword on my next video. Just to be like, oh, is this good? Is it not good? It's like, oh, that's whatever. But anyways, also another really important thing is that it is cheap. Yes, you do need to pay for a rec. Even with paying for like a rec through like a couple carries, it's really not that cheap. I mean, it's really kind of cheap compared to still getting it. You can still get it under roughly 200 mil, even paying for carries, which is not that bad. If you do dungeons a lot, it should be pretty easy to get the Kata 36 rec and just grind the money. Because if you're going for a Claymore, it's a lot better to go for, well, this, because it also has swing range. And, well, it's a lot easier to find a more hypermaxed one. But all in all, Claymore is just a lot better of a weapon to use than a Midas. And also, can I please state the fact that you need a G-Drag in order for it to be better than Claymore? And when you're going for your first weapon, for like first Hypermax, you're not going to have a G-Drag, so Claymore is just automatically better. So, that's also another reason why you shouldn't go for a Midas sword. Because, maxed out, because the G-Drag is like 1 bill for level 200, and you need another bill for your bank, and you need enough money for a Claymore, not Claymore, Midas sword, for it even to be even worth to use, when you could just get a Claymore with a really cheap setup, as a budget setup, and you're already doing more damage than a Midas sword. So yeah. Anyways, that's my video. I just really wanted to rant over why you should get a Claymore instead of just, well, a Midas sword. A lot of people don't realize that it is a lot more expensive. I get that there's no requirement, but it doesn't mean it's automatically better. Midas sword is still worse. And also the 500 mil is also really not worth it. So, yeah. Anyways, all in all, you should just stick with getting a Claymore. I will be talking about Giant Sword. And yes, I know that the requirement for Claymore is like really stupidly hard to get for like Iron Man, and as well just dropping it in general. So, yeah. So I get it. I will be doing another video on like what about Giant Sword and what alternatives. So yeah. Anyways, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed me ranting. Besides, anyways, peace. Love you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. And also thank you for 250. I really appreciate 250 subs. So yeah, I really hope to keep making content with you guys, and I will see how the next video turns out. And yeah, see you guys. Have a good day. Goodbye.